what happens when a sudden election development sends shockwaves through Washington? Late last night, reports emerged of an emergency meeting involving key political leaders in Washington, D.C. The news spread quickly, raising questions across the country. Why was this meeting called so urgently? And what could it mean for the future of American politics? Stay with us until the end of this video, because the details behind this story might surprise you. Hello everyone, and welcome back. Today, we're looking at a developing political story that has quickly become one of the most talked about topics in Washington. Following an unexpected election development, several political figures reportedly gathered for what sources described as an emergency meeting in Washington, D.C. Whenever leaders meet under urgent circumstances like this, it usually signals that something important is unfolding behind the scenes. Analysts, journalists, and political observers are now trying to understand exactly what happened and why this meeting took place. In this video, we'll walk through the background of the situation, the possible reasons behind the emergency meeting, and what experts believe could happen next. To understand why this moment is attracting so much attention, we need to look at the broader political environment. In recent years, American elections have become increasingly competitive and closely watched. Every vote, every decision, and every development is analyzed by political experts, news organizations, and the public. During the most recent election cycle, expectations were already high. Campaigns were intense, debates were widely discussed, and millions of voters participated across the country. But then something unexpected happened. A new development related to the election began circulating through political circles and media outlets. Details were initially limited, but the information was significant enough to trigger immediate discussions among political leaders. And that is when reports began to surface that an urgent meeting had been called in Washington. According to early reports, several officials and advisors gathered in Washington shortly after the news began spreading. Meetings like this are not unusual in politics, but the timing and urgency of this one quickly drew attention. Political analysts noted that emergency meetings are often called when leaders need to evaluate rapidly developing situations. Inside the meeting, discussions likely focused on understanding the situation, reviewing available information, and considering possible responses. While official details about the conversation remain limited, the fact that the meeting occurred so quickly suggests that leaders believed the situation required immediate attention. So why has this development captured so much attention? The answer lies in the broader impact elections can have. Elections influence leadership decisions, policy direction, and the future political landscape of the country. Whenever unexpected developments appear during or after an election process, they naturally raise questions. Political observers want to know whether the situation could affect future policies. Journalists want to understand how leaders are responding. And the public wants clarity about what it means for the country moving forward. This is why the emergency meeting in Washington has become a major talking point across the political world. Political experts have begun offering several possible interpretations of the situation. Some analysts believe the meeting was simply a precautionary discussion, a chance for leaders to review information and coordinate communication. Others believe it could signal that officials are evaluating potential next steps. In complex political situations, decision-makers often meet privately to review legal, procedural, and political considerations before making any public statements. Experts say that moments like this demonstrate how quickly political events can evolve. A single development can trigger widespread discussion and strategic meetings. As news of the emergency meeting spread, media coverage increased rapidly. Television networks, online news platforms, and political commentators began analyzing what might be happening behind closed doors. Social media also played a role in spreading information and speculation. Across the country, people began asking similar questions. What exactly happened? Why was the meeting called so quickly, and what might come next? Moments like this show how closely Americans follow political developments and how quickly a story can capture national attention. Looking ahead, analysts say there are several possible paths forward. Officials may release more information once discussions are complete. Additional meetings could take place as leaders continue evaluating the situation.